Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make some basic edition features using Adobe Premiere. First of all, it is very important that you have all your material gathered in one single folder. In my case, I have this commercial folder. What I have inside, I have also a media folder where I have all my video parts that I can use or that I will use in my edition. Okay. I also have some other files, okay, but the idea is that you concentrate all the files in one single folder. Now, when you open Premiere, the first thing that you have to do is create a new project. Okay, the new project is going to be the project itself, the project where you're going to edit your movie. In the settings that you have in the new project window, one of the settings that you have to modify, if it's different from mine, in this part, in the capture format, it is recommended for the good performance of your computer to have it in digital video. The other format is high definition video, but it will need more resources from the computer. Okay, so it's okay if you capture your video from your digital cameras in digital video. Also, you have to select the location where you're going to save all the files, all the Premiere files. So in this case, I'm going to, well, reselect the commercial folder that I have in my desktop. I'm going to press browse. I have to wait for my browse window appear. It will take a little while because I'm recording on Premiere. It's a heavy program. Okay, so I'm going to select the commercial folder, and I'm going to press choose. Okay, and here I'm going to give a name to my project. Okay, in my case, I'm going to name this as commercial new. Okay, and this is going to be the name for my project. Okay, so I'm going to press the OK button, and when I create the new project, Premiere will ask me to create a new sequence. In each project you can have more than one sequence, okay, more than one sequence of video where you can make the edition of your different media. Okay, in this case, we're going to use digital video, NTSC. Remember, we are in America, so we're in part of North America, so we're going to use NTSC. Okay, if your camera uses the 4:3 aspect ratio, you will use the standard definition. Okay, if your camera uses the 16:9 aspect ratio, then you will select the widescreen format. Okay, the 32 kilohertz and 48 kilohertz is depending on the quality of your audio. Okay, it's recommended that you use the 48 kilohertz because you have a better quality for your audio. But if you want to use the 32 kilohertz, it's okay. Okay, so in my case, I'm going to select the widescreen 48 kilohertz, and I'm going to name a name to my sequence. Okay, in this case, I'm going to name it as Car Explosion 1. Okay, and I'm going to press the OK button. When you enter into Premiere is it's a very easy to use program if you want to make the basic stuff. Okay, at the beginning, maybe you can be a little freaked out with all the windows because you don't know what to do. Okay, with them. Okay, but like in After Effects and in Audacity, you have a timeline where you're going to place your audio clips and your video clips. Okay, Premiere has the option to not only edit video, but you can edit audio too. Okay, so this is the timeline. This is your project window where you're going to have all the media that you are going to use. This is the source window. In a few moments I'm going to show how it works, and also the monitor window. Okay, this is how the video is going to be at the end. Okay, this is like this window presents a preview. Okay, so I'm going to make some basic additions so you learn how to work with these basic tools. Okay, so I have to import my material, so I'm going to go into File, Import, and from the commercial folder that I have, I'm going to select the media because there I have my stuff, and I'm going to select some of the files that I have here. Okay, I'm going to select using the shift key, I'm going to select all the moves, okay, that I have here, and I'm going to import them. It is very important, guys, that your video files have an extension. Could be a MOV extension, or maybe AV or MPEG, MPEG, or any video format extension, okay? If your file doesn't have an extension, then Premiere won't recognize it, and you won't be able to add it into your edition, okay? So, once you import the information, you will have it here in the project window, and here you will have all the material that you have, okay? Now, if I double click here, because maybe I want to check the material that I import, when I double click here, I'm going to see the source window that it's in the one in the left side. This is the source window, so this is my original video clip, okay? Also, if I import some music and I double click it, in this window I am going to hear the original audio track, okay? So this is my original source, okay? And the other window, the window that I have next to it, it's the monitor window. In this one, I'm going to see how the video is at the end, okay, before the edition. So I'm going to start making my edition, okay? In the timeline, by default, I have 3 video tracks and 3 audio tracks, okay? And also I have a master track, okay, a master audio track. So the idea is that most of the basic edition, you are going to add it into the video 1, okay? But maybe you can use the other 2 video channels to make different compositions, or to make something that maybe you want to add some text into your video, like subtitles maybe, or a message or something like that. Then you can superimpose those videos, okay? That's the idea of the video 2 and video 3 channel, to make superimpositions into the video track that you have in video 1. Okay, so how to do it? I'm just dragging from the project window into my timeline. In this case, the size for my movie clip is not the same size as the size that I select for my video. So I'm going to keep the existing settings, okay? And I am going to place, only dragging the clip, I can place it wherever I want to have it, okay? Now, with this handler that I have here, just like the one in After Effects, here you can drag this and you can see just a little bit of the action that is happening in the video window. Okay. Now, I am going to reposition this video. Okay, because it's not set in the proper position. I'm going to reduce the size of this, and okay, so I'm going to resize it. Okay, just like in After Effects, you can resize this using this option, or I can right click over the video track, and if I right click, there's an option that says scale to frame size. So I'm going to scale my video into the frame size. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in, and this is my video. So I can edit the video in different ways. The easiest, the more accurate way to do it, but the easiest way is using the cut tool, or the razor tool that we have here. Is this one the one with the form of a razor tool? Okay, with a razor blade. Okay, so if I select this tool, it's like if you are going to cut into the video track. Okay, if I'm going to make a cut here, or a cut here, or anywhere I want, I can make as many number of cuts, as many as I need. Okay, so maybe I need this track to be cutted here because of my addition. So I'm going to make one single click. So now I am reselecting the selection tool, or I can press the V key. Okay, so I select the V and I can drag this. Okay, and this way I start making my hard edition. Okay, with applying hard cuts. Okay, Now maybe I am going to use this other track and I am going to place it in this part. Okay, so the idea is that I am going to present this part and then the part of the road. Okay, but I don't need too many roads, so I'm going to put it almost into the half of this, and I'm going to use the eraser tool again. To activate the eraser tool, you can press the C key, okay, by pressing C, and I can activate. It's very useful for you if you learn the shortcuts. So again, V to select tool, and I'm going to drag it to another part of the video. Okay, if you're not going to need these options, then you can erase them. Okay, you can select them, and with the erase key, with the delete key, you can erase them, or you can keep them for further use. Okay, now the idea with this edition is that based on the original script that you already have, you are going to start cutting and editing and arranging your different clips in the proper position that you need them. Okay, but the idea here is that it's very simple. The idea is that you are going to cut some parts. Okay, maybe here for this third clip that I'm adding here, maybe I need the final part to match into this part. Okay, so I'm going to use again the eraser tool, or maybe I can go into one of the sides, and when you go into the sides, you see this other cursor, the one with a red arrow. That means that you can drag the border, in this case the left border, and you can shrink it to the right. Okay, so the starting point for this video will be shorter. Okay, or you can drag it so the starting point will be in a different part. Okay, so maybe I'm going to need my video starting in this part. So instead of cutting it with the eraser tool, I drag the left part and also edit it. Okay, so you can make it in these two different ways. Okay, now like I said, this is a hard cut. Okay, now maybe you will need to add some transitions into the clip. Okay, I'm going to select one of the longest video that I have, maybe this one with the girl. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Okay, this is one of the longest video that I have. Okay, it's one presenting a girl here. I am going to add a transition between these two clips. Okay, using transitions, you can give different to your movie. For example, sometimes when you want to present or when you want to show that some time passes, you can use a fade out. Okay, and when you make the fade into the image again, then you give the sensation of some time happens, or of sometimes occur or passes into this period. Okay, so if I want to make a transition between one clip and the other, for example, here I have my clip and there is the girl here, and in the other one is just the one side of the face. Okay, but I want to make a transition between them. So if you want to do it, you have to select here the effects tab. Okay, in the effects tab, you will find different effects that you can apply into the video, into the audios, but also you can use the video transitions. Okay, in the video transitions you have different categories. Okay, for example, one of the most common transition is the dissolve, the cross dissolve transition. Okay, so to use it, first you need to have both clips all together, and you just have to drag the selected transition between these two clips, and you just drag it. Okay, I'm going to wait for Premiere to okay, maybe it's too small, but I'm going to check in a few moments. Now, sometimes, guys, when you want to make a zoom into the image or into the clips that you have here, you can select these options that you have next to the scroll bar. Okay, to make a zoom into this part. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to zoom into the transition that I make. Okay, and let's suppose that I apply the transition. Okay, so here is the transition that I did. Okay, I'm going to double click it, and now I'm going to have the information of the transition in this window. Okay, so here with this option, the actual sources, you can press this option, so I can see the transition from one image to another. With these handlers, I can drag, and then Premiere will show me the transition from one side to another. Okay, this is my starting point, and this is my ending point. And also I can modify the duration. For example, maybe I want the transition to long, or maybe 1 second instead of 25 frames. So here I'm going to make the modification manually. Okay, I'm going to apply the transition in 1 second. So now my transition between one image and the other will take 1 second. Okay, I think that it can see it can be seen in the monitor window. Okay, this is one example of a transition. You can use any transition that you want. If I want to erase a transition, I just select it and I erase it with the backspace. But let's use another example of transition. For example, the page wheel. If I use the page peel. If I use the page peel, it's another kind of transition. Okay, and the idea with this transition is that I'm going to have this kind of page peel if you pass a page from one side to another. So I'm going to get rid of the actual sources so I can present how it works. So you can present this kind of things with the transition. And here in this option, and every transition has different properties, but with this option I can tell from which corner the page is going to be peeled. Okay, so I can change the page, the direction, and also I can change the duration. Okay, so that's the basic idea for the transitions. Now, if you want to make a fade to black, okay, it is possible with the cross dissolve transition. The idea is that you will have at the end of the image, you won't have any other clip. Okay, so instead of having the hard cut from image to black, then you will have a cross dissolve, so the image will be dissolving into fading into black. Okay, so in this case, let's see if the preview shows. Okay, here you will see how the image is fading into black. So this is the final result. Okay, now I want to make the thing that sometimes happens. Okay, so I'm going to put some other part of the material that I have here. I'm going to put it maybe 1 second separated from the, maybe 1 second it's too much, but doesn't matter. Okay, so it fades out. Okay, and then it will fade in. So to fade in, I have to apply again the cross dissolve effect, okay, to the beginning of the clip. And now the idea is that the clip will fade in. Okay, so that's the idea, the basic idea of edition using Premiere. I know there are a lot of tools, a lot of things that you can do using Premiere, but for your short clips, maybe these are going to be the things that you will need to use, okay, to make your video. Now, let's think that I already finished my video, okay, and now I'm ready for the final render. Now, it is very important that if you are using Premiere, maybe it will be different in some other software, but if you are using Premiere, this handler that I have here in the top will tell how much of the timeline you are going to render. Okay, so if I drag it here to the right side, then I'm going to render all this part, but all in this part is going to be black. Okay, so I know I won't have anything here. Okay, also if I drag it here, maybe from my 1 minute render that I have at the end, I will render only 16 seconds. Okay, but maybe I don't want to render only these 16 seconds. I want to render maybe this other second. So maybe this is the only part that I want to render. So I can do it by manipulating these handlers. Okay, so I'm going to put this into the beginning, this into the end of my clip, and now I'm ready to export. Now, every time that you are going to render and every time that you work with Premiere, it's very important for you to continually save your project. Okay, sometimes when you add a lot of things into Premiere and your computer it's not powerful enough, Premiere gets a little unstable. Okay, so it can crash at any moment. Okay, it's not as unstable as, for example, Audacity, but it can happen. Okay, so it's very important that you keep saving and saving and saving your project to avoid losing the work that you are creating. Okay, so in this case I'm going to save my project, okay, with save as. Remember, when you save the project, you save the Premiere environment, but this is not the final movie. This is not the render video. This is just the project. Okay, the same happens in After Effects and the same happens in Audacity. Okay, so I'm going to wait just for my computer to respond. Okay, to present me the browse window. Okay, here I'm going to save it inside my commercial folder, and I'm going to save it as commercial new 1. Okay, and I'm going to save my first project. Okay, now I am ready to export my final movie. Okay, now I'm going to go into File, Export Media. Okay, in the File, Export Media is the part where you are going to render your final movie. So here Premiere will tell me from one part to what part I want to make the render. In this case, I want to be made it from all the work area. Okay. In this other part, we have the export settings. Okay. For the video, I need you to save it in QuickTime format. In the preset, it's going to be NTSC DB widescreen, is the one that you already select from the beginning. Okay, and also, well, here it's the name of the final clip. Here you can click it and you can rename it if you need to. Okay, you are going to export the video, and also if you already have some audio, you are going to export the audio. In a later video, I will show you how to add some audio into the clip. Okay, and very important, guys, in these parts, in the video options, we are going to change the video codec. Okay, we are going to change it from all the codecs that we have here. We are going to select MPEG-4. Okay, now once that I select the MPEG-4, I am going to export my movie. Okay, maybe it will take a few moments here because of the video capture, but I'm going to export it anyway. So when I send it to export, Premiere starts encoding all the video frames that you have there, and it will create the final movie. Okay, now for a 5 minutes movie, maybe it will take a few hours to make the final render. Okay, this is not a fast process, so it is very recommended that you have enough time to create the final render, because it's very stressful, and I'm telling you, because of my experience, it is very, very stressful to make the render at the final moment, and you see that the deadline it's approaching, and your render isn't finished yet. Okay, so think that maybe it will take maybe 2-3 hours to finish the final render. If it took fewer than that, well, it's better. Okay, but consider that part. Okay, guys, so in this case, for example, for 1 minute of video, and I am not using effects or any complicated, I'm just applying haircuts, it's taking about 4 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to return in a few moments when the timer here it sets to maybe 95. Okay, so I'm coming back. Okay, Now my timer is set to 95% of the render process. Now I'm going to wait until it finishes. Okay, 97%. 4 more seconds. It says, okay, 99%. Okay, and now my final movie is ready. Okay, so when this process finishes, you will return to the Premiere environment, and if you look in the folder where you save it, you will find the final movie. In my case is this one that it says car explosion 1.mov. Okay, and if I preview this video file, I will see my video edition. Okay, the final movie. Now in this case, I didn't add any sound, I didn't add any After Effects effect. Okay, I only apply some cuts into my scene. Okay, for example, this cut that I have here, this other cut. Okay, also I apply the fade out between this footage from one girl to another. Okay, it wasn't a fade out, it was a page peel. Okay, the fade out was here. Okay, and also a fade in this part. Okay, it's a few moments, and then we have the fade in. Okay, so that's the idea of this basic edition situation. Okay, so good luck, and well, see you in the next video.